Our next guest won a national championship with the Oklahoma Sooners. He's been a multiple-time Coach of the Year, a 6-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. And now he's on to a new endeavor. He's also got a new book out called No Excuses, The Making of a Head Coach. Bob Stoops joins us this morning on the show. Bob, good morning.
Great to be with you, D.A. Hope you're having a great morning.
I am. Back at you. Thanks so much for taking time for us. And I want to start with the new and then get back into the old. I think people will be a little surprised to see you on the sideline of a new football endeavor, the XFL, coming up in February as coach GM of the Dallas Renegades. You walked away from college football 2 years ago. The easy question is, why? Why come back?
Well, there's a number of reasons. First of all, when I stepped away, I needed some time and space to myself. That was my main purpose. I said, and felt I had run my course at Oklahoma and just wanted my own space and time. And then after a couple of years of not being on the sideline, the old saying, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Maybe I've had a little bit too much time and space to myself. And I believe in this league. I think it's going to be exciting and fun. We've got really great leadership with owner Vince McMahon and our commissioner, Oliver Luck, who's an accomplished guy. I'm really excited about it. Dallas is a short trip from where I'm at in Oklahoma. And I just believe, there's a lot of excellent players that are just outside the NFL. Like take, for instance, the last 5-10 guys that are cut from each NFL team. There's a lot of good football players out there that still want to play. So I really think it's a great endeavor. I'm excited about it and think it's going to be great.
Yeah, the Alliance showed us that there's really good football out there. Last spring, there was good football being played in the AAF. But the thing is, you walked away in your late 50s. I think most observers said, he's not going to be able to retire forever and not coach. I mean, you were still a young man, relatively speaking, when it comes to coaching. Did you really think you could retire in your late 50s and maybe never coach again?
I did, and at the end of the day, this wasn't a possibility. When I stepped away, there was no mention of an XFL. And at the time, it was just right for me. Like I said, I had run my course at Oklahoma. There was nothing whatsoever negative. It was all just my personal belief that it was time for me to step out. I knew I had the right guy there with Lincoln Riley ready to take it over. And so it was just perfect. I knew I had a mature, good football team that could handle it, that could handle the change. And and you never know what life's going to bring you. And, the different opportunities come to you at different parts of your life. And like I said, that chapter for me was complete. And I didn't want to miss the right time to make the break.
Bob Stoops joins us this morning on the show. He's got a new book out called No Excuses, The Making of a Head Coach. And those that have covered you have said that there's so much in this book of your personality, your inner thoughts, what you really were thinking instead of saying all those years at Oklahoma, and that it was a little surprising for people to see you really put that on paper. Why did you feel like it was important to be buttoned up and not share that side of you when you were coaching?
Well, I think when you're representing a university and as much exposure as you have, just personally, there's a lot that you don't want everybody to have. And at that time, and you can't always say everything that's on your mind because because of a lot of different reasons. So, like I said, you're representing a university, not just yourself, and a program and college football and on and on and on. So, you do have to, your words and your choices have to be very measured when you're in that spotlight that way and representing other people.
Now that we're celebrating 150 years of college football, one game that you were involved with continually comes up, highlight shows, lists, what have you, greatest moments ever, and that's the Fiesta Bowl against Boise State. Of course, you're on the wrong side of that, but that is a magical night in college football history. How do you personally remember that night, and what is the lasting feeling you have from being part on the wrong end of one of the greatest moments in college football history?
Yeah, I go into it in detail actually in the book, and really what gets overlooked that year is we started the year dismissing our quarterback from the team. Then we replace the quarterback with the wide receiver, move him back to quarterback. We lose Adrian Peterson halfway through the season. and we still end up beating Nebraska in the Big 12 championship 21-7 to win the Big 12 championship. That's what I remember about that season. Now, we go on to beat a really good football team. Boise State hadn't lost a game all year, had only lost one game the year before, and had about 25 seniors on the team, 26 seniors on the team. So at the end of the day, it didn't cost us the Big 12 championship. Instead of maybe ending up third or fourth in the nation, we ended up eighth or ninth. So be it. So what I'm saying is I'm not losing a lot of sleep about it.
When there's a hook and lateral, though, and a Statue of Liberty, are you like, man, that coaching staff has some stones? No
doubt. I listen. Chris Peterson, I think, is a fabulous coach, and I've gotten to be good friends with them. And no, you got to give them credit. I've always said that, and you know, they were awful creative and executed it to beat us. So, you know, give them credit.
In the book, you take blame for the USC national championship game loss in 2004. Why do you feel responsible for that?
Well, the entire season, we had played for the national championship the year before as well, and it was 21-14 to LSU, you know, in the Sugar Bowl. And a whole mantra for the players the entire year was to finish. And we go through the year, and then into the Big 12 championship in great fashion. I mean, we're playing fantastic. And for whatever reason, you know, what I blame myself for is how did I miss through the weeks leading up to the national championship game. I had a lot of older players that I thought were all in to finish. And for whatever reason, when I got back to the hotel after the game, I had one guy, senior, leave the locker room in a limousine. I had several other players. As soon as we got back to the hotel, were already sitting there signing contracts with agents. So in my mind, I guess what I'm saying is I wish I'd have done more to somehow connect and get them to put that off for another week or another few days until we completed this game. So in my mind, I thought some guys kind of were already looking to the future instead of finishing, you know, this season, this game, as important as it was. And so I blame myself that somehow I didn't reach them.
Final question, Coach. When I watch Adrian Peterson play his freshman season for you guys, I said, I've never seen a running back like this ever. And I think his freshman season ranked up there with the greats of all time, Bo, Herschel Walker, et cetera. But you've had a lot of great players in your Oklahoma stay. Was he the greatest, or who was the greatest player you coached?
Yeah, I couldn't. I've had too many, you know, and then you got to go to the defensive side of the ball, too. It's easy to just look at a quarterback or running back and say they were the greatest. You know, Adrian is definitely one of them. There's no question about that. But fortunately, I've been blessed to have others that are Heisman Trophy winners and, you know, have been incredibly successful also. So, but he's among them. There's no question. And you know, also, in Oklahoma is one of those places through the years we've had a lot of really special players.
All right, so quickly on defense, who are those guys you're talking about that you just coached? You said, my God, this guy is a monster.
Oh, first one that comes to mind is Roy Williams. He just absolutely controlled and dominated games and on the defensive side of the ball. Other guys would be Tommy Harris, Derek Strait at the time. You know, Teddy Lehman, Rocky Kalmus were great players. I don't know. You know, those are just a few that pop up.
National champion Bob Stoops has a new book that's available everywhere now called No Excuses, The Making of a Head Coach. Really behind the scenes, if you're an Oklahoma fan, of so many years of how you watched and followed Sooners football, but really college football fans in general, I think we get a kick out of this book. Coach, this was fun to do. Thanks so much, and good luck in the XFL, you Renegade.
Well, I really appreciate it. Looking forward to the Dallas Renegades, no doubt.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Bob Stoops joining us this morning here on the show.